I can show you the Azure order. It's not much because it's lemons. All right, there we go. 2 pounds. I'm sorry, 10 pounds. So 10 in the bottom box, 10 in the top box. I went ahead and opened this box and gave my parents half a dozen of lemons. This pantry challenge is possible due to our farm to table lifestyle that we have developed over many years, pretty much over a decade. Back in 2009 and 10, my husband and I will visit the farmer's market and pick up a thing or two. Here's a pack of meat, some dozen of eggs, a basket of peas, a basket of green beans. It was great for fresh eating for that day or that week, but it definitely was not a lifestyle. One thing that we learned very quickly was how we would enjoy those peas in May and June, and then by July we go back to get some more and they're gone. And we're like, what happened? And guys would tell us the season is over. Even though I grew up with great grandparents running through their cornfields, we're trying to revive that farm. I never really mentally caught on to what it means to eat farm to table. I had to redefine what it actually meant to eat in season, to eat directly from the farmer. Not just to pick up something short and quick, but to eat for the whole entire season. And the easiest thing was strawberries. My grandparents took us strawberry picking when we came to visit every spring. And that's when I learned to pretty much stock up on all the strawberries that we possibly could need to make jams and sauces and ice creams all summer long and going into the fall. Every year I run up short and we don't pick enough, but that's the beauty of eating seasonally because I just make a note to pick more the next year. Also, eating seasonally is recognizing what grows when and how to get access to it. I'm thinking of a short series to bring to you guys those methods of actually learning how to eat that way. So what I've done is take some of our favorite recipes, in this case lemon bars, and break down where do I need to get all of the ingredients to make these delicious lemon bars. Those eggs come from my friend and from a local farmer. I'm able to preserve them in a lime bath and then eat them throughout the winter. The lemons, of course, you see we picked up from Azure, and I will preserve a lot of lemon juice, as you saw, for the winter. I'm sorry, for the summer, and if possible, into the fall. We'll start right over again next winter with more lemon preserves. I have some lemon poppy seed muffins for this particular morning. Once again, getting in all the local produce, trying to eat as local as possible. First with my city or neighborhood, second with our state, third getting into our region, and finally anywhere in my country. This might seem hard, but if you break it down and put it by season, it is not that difficult. I am making some pie crust with homemade lard. Right. When I think of the ingredients I need to make pie crust, it is homemade lard, butter, and icy cold water and salt. I can make the butter myself, usually when I get fresh milk from my farmer. And then when we get a share of pig, every year I render down my own lard. It makes the tastiest, most delicious pie crust, and therefore making meals like this so easy and so quick. So if you want to try this process with me, come along. A friend of mine asked me to explain this whole thing, and I told her, sure, I'll tell you exactly how I do it. So either grab 3 sheets of paper or a sheet of paper that you can like divide into 3 sections. At the top, you want to put farmer, grow yourself, and store bought. Underneath that category, just based off of the meals I showed you today, we're going to put salt, baking soda, and baking powder underneath the store. We do not grow salt. We did not make our own baking soda and baking powder. And then go ahead and put flour under farmer or local. What that will allow you to do is give you the task to go find a local mill near you that you can get some flour. You have natural grocery stores in areas that allow for you to grind your own flour. But that is a great option to remain local. If not, you can find a distributor that can give you flour that is made either regionally or within the United States, which is a good source to get local flour versus eating flour from another country. Also on the farm list is different proteins that you like to eat. The sausage that's on our plate, the bacon and ham that's on our plates, the eggs, they come from local sources. And so this meal right here in front of you might represent both grocery store and farm to table, with the garlic from the farm, onions from the farm, crab meat that we picked ourselves. But then it has a couple items from the grocery store, such as the heavy whipping cream, the peas, and the tilapia. One day we'll get to fishing and actually catching up for meals in the future. But we are striving to eat as much as possible, that it cuts out as many middlemen as possible. Oftentimes you will have to cut out certain foods that is no longer part of the farm life. If you're not willing to cut certain foods out, you might be more willing to reduce it drastically. For example, we would like to keep proteins as many as possible from the farmer, which means our beloved avocados get cut out. We don't grow them naturally in our state nor in our region, so the closest is actually, I think, California, and then the rest of them come from Mexico. And actually, Mexico could be closer. But nonetheless, they are not American grown and easily accessible in our area. And I'd rather cut that out our budget as little as it costs in order to get something local. Tonight's dinner hopefully will be super yummy. These are beef shanks. I'm going to get these sauteed in the pan with some garlic, onion, and we're going to cook it down with some red wine, low and slow, for a couple hours, and hopefully serve that over either rice, mashed potatoes, something like that. And then I got some peas that we could finish it off with. So this week I'm also adding these beef shanks under the farmer tab. They actually come from a farmer that we picked up a couple months ago, and we will continue to eat through that beef share until it's all gone and we can buy another one. But yes, the farmer here in this case will be a protein that is local to us. I believe I've actually went out to this farm. I believe it's within a 2 to 3 hour drive of us, and we really enjoy their products and their method of farming. So underneath of the farm section, I'm definitely going to put beef. I will put in parentheses the 2 farms that we have been purchasing proteins from for the last 4 years, 5 years of living here. And we will chalk that up as an item we are going to reduce as much as possible from the grocery store so we can continue to eat farm to table. That is homemade chicken broth I just added in with the beef shanks so that they can simmer away and get nice and tender. I wanted to show you these green beans were canned with a zinc tab in it. And guess what? It kept them bright and green. So we're going to go ahead and get these warmed up for dinner. Here is my husband's plate. I'm always showing you my son's and I's plate, but this is for my husband. And y'all, it is so damn good. Excuse my language. This last meal is going to be like an Italian sausage goulash. And it's going to represent the kale that we can grow right in our own backyard. That kale is going to be written down under the grow section of my list. I'm going to go ahead and list another one right with it, which will be tomatoes and spinach. Those items we can grow in our yard that's going to bring more healthy food for our family. you spend some time this week categorizing all the different parts of your meals, and whether you could get them from the farmer, the store, or grow yourselves. Until next time, guys, I'll see you here on this short little series. Bye-bye.